right, welcome everyone to the IWM broadcast of the iNASCAR Racing Series finale here in Phoenix. Welcome to the broadcast. Joined here in the booth with my co-broadcaster, John DeRutris. But tonight we've got some pre-race interviews with the top four who've made it through this entire season, and now it all comes down to this. And we've got Corey Bunch, Jeff Brogden, Jordan Wentzel, and Michael Whitley here in the booth before we get this going. And guys, you know, it's been a heck of a year.
Hell yeah.
It's been a long year.
It's been fun.
It's a very long year.
Well, it all comes down to this, though, right? It's the best you can do. Phoenix is an interesting track. Anybody?
I hate this track.
I'm gonna. Well, you know, some love it, some hate it. It's just it's that dog leg, and for me, the reconfiguration has just kind of got me all weird. I just haven't figured it out mentally.
I'm not a big fan of it either. I liked it when the start finish line was on the straigaway and not in the middle of a corner. Feels like you could just die there.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, I was just going to say is I think that dog leg will cause some problems if you're not careful during this race.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of, you know, with the way they put the start finish line right there at the beginning of the dog leg, it's just kind of odd.
Yeah, you got to go down. It seems like you got to go down there to be quick. It's scary.
Yeah, it's anytime NASCAR wants to reconfigure something that normally does not end well. Texas, Bristol, here.
Well, what we do know is that in 4 minutes this race will kick off, and it's up to you guys to, you know, pretty much lay it all on the line. It doesn't matter how many wins you had before or where you finished in top fives. It's this. This is the race. So.
It is. Shout out to Travis for so many wins this year.
Yeah, we beat a lot. There's a lot of good cars that did not make it. I mean, Travis, Eric, Alex Murphy. Yeah, there's a lot of people that competed for a lot of wins this year that aren't in the Final Four.
Well, there's a little bit of skill and a lot of luck that always comes down to that Final Four, and sometimes it's just a matter of a point or two. You see that in the regular Cup series. Just one mistake, one bad race makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, we don't want to hold you guys up too much. You know, you just got a few more minutes before this practice session ends. We'll put you back in your teams, but we wish you a heck of a lot of luck. We'll be watching and looking forward to speaking with you guys at the end of the race.
Sounds like a plan.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good race.
Have a good race. Good luck. All right, bear with us, folks, as we clear the booth and get these guys back to their...
All right. Mr. Brogden, full throttle, correct?
No, Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Whitley.
Full throttle.
Full
throttle, alrighty. Good luck, guys.
All right, that was the Final Four. Gentlemen from Roadrunner Motorsports and Full Throttle.
It's going to be a good race tonight, Rick. I think, you know, you have a lot of different drivers with a lot of different seasons. I mean, look at what happened last week with Whitley. He was, you know, he needed to win. He was not going to make it, and look what he did. He got a win, tweaked his way into the Final Four in the championship race, and battling for the iNASCAR Racing Series Championship. So it's anybody's game. And we saw last week, you know, playoff drivers getting affected with issues early on and late in the race. So I think it's going to be a very entertaining race here tonight at Phoenix.
Well, let's talk about that race tonight. Let's take a look at the current race info for tonight's event.
You got it, Rick.
All right, 156 laps tonight. We have a stage break at lap 51. The choose rule is in effect for the leader. They have one quick repair or fast repair if they sustain damage. There is 50% fuel, so we'll see a number of pit stops tonight, as well as 6 sets of tires. The track is pretty comfortable. It's an ambient air of 76, 87 degrees on the track, which is pretty darn good for Phoenix. It's pretty
Very nice.
Yeah, pretty dry and clear, so should be a great race.
Should be a great race. Also, really quick, Rick, make sure to share your screen with me. Make sure we get that done so I can see multiple sides of this broadcast as we got going on tonight. Everybody on the track right now, about 15 seconds left before qualifying starts. And, you know, I think, Rick, talking about qualifying, I think it's going to be a major factor in how these drivers do tonight. I think this is going to be a track position race. I think that we are going to see green flag runs. Obviously, tires are going to be an issue. But I think that track position is going to be very important here, especially late in the race.
All right, looks like we're about to go qualifying.
Five-minute qualifying session here for these guys tonight, which means 2 laps you have to get your fastest time around this triangle, question mark? I don't even know what kind of shape you would, like, what would you call it?
Right.
Around this very interesting racetrack where, you know, right now that's turn 3 and turn 4, where it used to be turn 1 and turn 2. Watching Tony Japs out of Lexington right now go across the start-finish line. There's the dog leg. And, getting loose. Hold on to her. Going to have to come back and probably get a little bit of a better second lap in, obviously, for that. But, Rick, it's that easy. It takes that little bit of error to lose it. And he's a very skilled driver.
We're watching Brogden Wentzel going around. He's one of our final 4s, getting his laps in. Japs posted there's some good times coming in. Not quite as fast as what we saw in qualifying. There is a qualifying time, and we're seeing those in the mid-27s. But we got a pretty good field of drivers tonight. I think we've got 21 or 22 entries, which is really fantastic. That just speaks to the quality of the league. When you've worked the whole season, you've had multiple drivers in all season long. You hope that at the end, even though the race counts for those top 4, that you get a good turnout, and these guys have always had a good turnout. So look at Michael Whitley's car for tonight.
He's already won the ugly sweater competition already. It's November 2nd, but he's like, you know what? It's Christmas time here at Phoenix. What a paint scheme. An ugly sweater car paint scheme.
Krispy Kreme, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I like it. Another playoff championship contender, Corey Bunch, Tennessee guy. It's not too far from where I am. See what kind of lap time he puts up there. You see Bennett, Wentzel, Whitley, Murphy, Jeffers. Is Bunch going to join that battle up at the top? Here he comes out of turn 4. Bunch, 7th.
So Jeff Brogden has not qualified at this point. Maybe he's not going to qualify.
I'm not sure.
Just a few drivers yet to finish qualifying for tonight's event.
Got about a minute left. Something did happen with Brogden, though. Looking in the chat, not really sure. I may be able to go to his car and take a look back. See maybe what had happened. I don't even see him joining the qualifying session. I'm not sure, Rick.
Yeah, well, you just never know. He's still in Discord, so
he is here.
he is here. Yeah, he is definitely here.
But you know what that's going to do is that's going to put him all the way to the back of this field, which, mentioning before, track position is going to be important here, I believe. So
speaking of
with
that, yeah, you want to talk about your keys to tonight's event?
Yeah, really quick. Let's go through the keys. So number one is going to be throttle control. Throttle control on corner exit is huge here, especially out of turn 2 and out of turn 4. You can't let the car get out from underneath you. If you do, you're going to spin and you have to lock it up or you're going to go right towards that outside wall. Second one, braking zones. You have to realize what the braking zones are because in going into turn 3, everybody has a different zone. So we may see some chaos going into turn 3, the old turn 1. And then last but not least, pitch strategy. I think we are going to get some green flag runs here tonight. And I think that you have a pitch strategy race where it's going to matter when you come down, what tires you get, if you get right sides, if you get left sides, and also if you come down with any teammates. So with that being said, throttle control, braking zones, pitch strategy is where it's at tonight. And I'm looking at a flaming hot car right now. That is the number 14 of Jeffrey Brogden. He's here. He's going to be in the race. He's in the 14 machine. So don't worry, Mr. If you're a fan of Mr. Brogden, he is here. So those are my 3 keys for tonight's race. Whoever masters those keys will probably come out victorious and be our champion.
Sounds great. So we've just got about 3.5 minutes or so while the series does give the drivers a chance to run some practice laps if they choose to. Just a chance to cool off before we go to the main event. And as we said before, we've got 156 or so laps. There is a stage break, a competition break at lap 51. And we'll see how that all plays into the overall running of tonight's event. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. We've watched these guys through the cut races throughout the entire playoff series, and racing has just been phenomenal. Great drivers, really aggressive. They want to win. They battle for those wins, and it's great to watch.
It is. It's been fun to watch all season long. So got about 2 minutes left here before we get your starting lineup for tonight's iNASCAR Racing Series Phoenix finale.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows that this is our Thursday night racing event, and we will be bringing you the iNASCAR Series each Thursday night when they start Season 3, which kicks off in January. So if you're a fan of what we do here and you like watching our broadcast, we will have 2 leagues at least for you starting in January. Wednesday night will be the Tech for Troops series that kicks off in January, and then Thursday night, right here again, we'll bring each and every race each week with the iNASCAR series starting in January. So we're going to be pretty busy, John, starting next January. We have we got some off time between now and then, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a busy regular season next season for both the Tech for Troop Cup Series, the iNASCAR Racing Series. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to watch and excited to see what kind of racing we have, because the beginning of the seasons are always hectic. You have the biggest fields. You have, where names are made, within each one of these series. So we'll see who's able to carry it over. Because I know in the Tech for Troop Cup Series, we've had a very even playing field all season long. And, with the iNASCAR Racing Series, we may see the same thing happen next season. So Don't miss out. You'll want to catch that when we start back up in January, and we'll let you know when all that happens through the YouTube channel and through our socials. So, got a minute left, Rick, before we start this Phoenix finale. Any words of wisdom for these top 4 drivers who are racing for the championship?
Well, the only words of wisdom I'd advise any of these guys is to just have some patience and have some fun.
Love it.
Yep. So, all right, just a few seconds away from the start of this event, and again, we appreciate you tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. If this is your first time, feel free. We'd love for you to like and subscribe so that we can keep you up to date on events here when we've got events on our Wednesdays and Thursday nights. And then, you may, as we go a little bit into our off season and come back, we may have some other events that we cover, and certainly subscribing is the best way to find out if we've got something going on that you'd like to watch. Obviously, it's a choice you make as to what you watch on your social media streams, and we appreciate when you tune into the IWM Broadcast Network.
We sure do. And the cool thing is, you don't have to watch it live. I think that's a lot of what people think, we have to watch it live. No, you can watch the next day. You could watch it the night before the next race. I mean, you could watch these anytime you want. If you make your way over to the live tab of the YouTube channel, you'll be able to go back and watch any previous broadcast that we have put out there into the YouTube universe. So make sure if you miss it, well, you can always go back and watch. But Rick, looks like we have cars on pit road for tonight's iNASCAR Phoenix finale. And here is your starting lineup. Starting in first on the pole from Full Throttle Motorsports, you got a top 4 lockout with Travis Bennett in first, Jordan Wentzel in second, Michael Whitley Jr. in third, and Corey Bunch starting in fourth. Alex Murphy starting in fifth with Eric Jeffers starting in sixth. Ty Bostic, a familiar face to a couple other series that we know of, starting in seventh with Garrett Walden starting in P8. Scott Thomas starts in ninth, and Jason Hale rounds out your top 10.
In 11th, Dan Hughes. 12th, Martin Giroux. In 13th, Matt Allen. 14th, Jeremy Briggs. 15th, Josh Douglas. 16th, Martin Pinnell. Tony Japs is in 17th. Vince Burns in 18th. Eric Thomas in 19th. Simon Bagdon in 20th. And Jeff Brogden in 21st.
Yeah, Brogden didn't get a qualifying time in due to some issues that we do not know of. So I'm not really sure what happened there.
Pace car is already off.
They are off. Well, this is what it comes down to, folks. 21 cars obviously battling in this field, but only 4 of them battling for the championship. Wentzel, Bunch, Whitley, and Brogden. They are into turn 3. They are into the Geico restart zone right about now. And we are green flag racing from Phoenix in the iNASCAR Phoenix finale.
If you're unfamiliar with this Phoenix track, here is a dog leg after the start-finish line. And you'll see regularly drivers dropping off the racing surface, and they can use that apron.
Yes, they can. They can use any part of the racing surface as they would like to make any moves here. Here we go down in the turn 1, looking at the 0-1 right there of Travis Bennett, but we have Wentzel and Bunch battling there for third. 1 lap complete out of 156 here tonight. You see drivers making their way down to the bottom side of the track. It works, but I don't know if I would use it consistently.
Yeah, there's a little bit more tire wear as the drivers drop off the racing surface onto the apron and back up. There's a little bit of sidewall wear that happens there. But if you can pick up a 10th or so, then I don't see why you couldn't do it. You'll see Corey Bunch and others absolutely take advantage of that opportunity. So you just saw Jordan Wentzel do that as well.
So we got 2 cars on the wall coming out of turn 2. 3 wide as we come out of turn 2. In the back, they solved it, but we have a pass for second as well. Jordan Wentzel up to P2. Or my bad, that's Corey Bunch up to P2.
Corey stayed off, dropping down.
Wrecking in the back. Rick, didn't mean to rip a big wreck in the back.
Number of drivers involved: Jeremy Briggs, Scott Thomas. Unfortunately, Jeff Brogden was also involved. Unfortunately,
There's no caution?
No caution came out. Wait,
How?
there it is. There it is. Caution's out.
I was about to say, Rick, we had cars backwards on the racetrack. I didn't know how there wasn't going to be a caution for that, but you know this is what I was talking about. Track position is so important, and we saw a playoff driver getting involved.
Let's see if we can go back and take a look and. Let's back that up. So I'm trying to find exactly where that impact took place. That's what started it. That's the 79 of Scott Thomas and the 127 of Matt Allen. I believe that was what precipitated the incident. And now as drivers are coming through, there's Ty Bostic making his way through. Here's the 14 of Brogden. He's coming up, and he, unfortunately, looks like a little bit of net code there, but he collides. The 50 gets involved, the 9, and they're all just up against the wall. All right, so just 6 laps in, and we've got a little bit of an incident. Jeremy Briggs, Scott Thomas, Jeff Brogden, Jason Hale, all involved. Travis Bennett continues to show at the front. Corey Bunch, Brogden Wentzel. Lights are off on top of the Mace car, so we'll be going back to green flag racing next time by. So the drivers got 6 sets of tires. Jeff Brogden did come into the pits. There's probably a pretty good chance he may have gotten a quick repair. Unfortunately, having to use it with only 6 laps complete is kind of troubling, but it is what it is.
It happens. It happens, Rick. You know, but that's the danger you play. He's still back there in 17th. So playoff drivers 1, or 2, 3, and a little bit further on back there in 7th. But we're green flag racing back here at Phoenix Field. Dives down below the dog leg, into the dog leg. Some drivers wrap that high side. We got racing back here as cars are sliding up in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Man, I still can't get that right. It's rough to say turn 1 and 2 and you think turn 3 and 4. But right now, Bennett is out front, and they got a lot of side-by-side action going on between drivers.
We're definitely looking back through the field. You see some drivers taking that opportunity to drop down that apron to the dog leg, others staying up high. That's always the most unnerving part, is those drivers rejoin the field through the dog leg, and it's can be a little sketchy.
Little sketchy is a good way to put it, because you don't know how the other driver around you is going to react. You don't know how the car's going to react. You may get loose. You really, it's up to chance for some of these guys.
So we're keeping our eye on the rest of the field as you're making your way around. That's the 12 of Eric Jeffers there, currently running in 4th. Looking back at the playoff drivers, you've got Michael Whitley back in here with that uniquely colored car. It stands out, John.
It does. I love it. I think it's fantastic. You know, it's past Halloween, so there are some people that are like, let's bring on Christmas. Let's do it. Let's do it early. So he definitely has a Christmas spirit and cheer here early on. Rick, we may have a pass for the lead.
Oh, yeah, Corey Bunch out in front of Travis Bennett gets around. I was just about to say that Jeff Brogden has now made his way up to 10th.
That's a heck of a restart for Brogden. So he saw what was happening back in there in the back, and he was like, get me out of there. I don't care if I have to burn through a set of tires. I just need to get out of the mess. So he's all the way up to 10th. That means all 4 of our playoff drivers are in the top 10. Corey Bunch in first, Wentzel in third, Whitley in sixth, and now Brogden rounds out the 10th place position. And we're 13 out of 156 complete. We're almost a 10th of the way done, and this is when we're going to start to see some of these tires start to wear a little bit and see who's able to make their way to the front of the field. Right now, with Bunch and Wentzel running first and third, those are the 2 guys that I'm looking at with tire wear, how they can handle their tires. Also, Whitley there in sixth now, what he can do, and how they stand out, 10, 15 laps from now.
Yeah, with this track and the way that the different elevations between the track itself, the apron, tire wear is going to be a factor. Definitely in the first 25 laps, you'll wear through the virgin version of that tire, and you'll be down to be a bit more slippery getting around on these tires. But fuel, that's another thought. I'm not quite sure just what our window is at this point. I was thinking it was 45 laps, but it may be greater.
That seems about right. We had about 3 laps of caution laps there, so we're about 12 laps into the stint, tire-wise and fuel-wise, if we're not counting those caution laps. So, we have a good 20, 25 laps until we may start to see some of these guys make their way down pit road. But as it stands right now, Corey Bunch out front with Bennett in second, Wentzel in third, Jeffers in fourth, and Murphy rounding out your top 5 here tonight. And on the move is Brogden up to 8th. Now, we got to remember, Brogden had a very good regular season. He knows what he's doing out there in that flaming hot Cheetos car, and he is flaming his way through the field right now, trying to get back up to the front. That puts playoff drivers and championship drivers in the top 8. So right now, Bunch, Wentzel, Whitley, and Brogden would be your championship running order as it stands. But obviously, you got a lot more racing to go. And what I'm noticing, though, is Corey Bunch is able to put a little bit of distance between him and the rest of the field. He's almost gained about a 1-second lead.
Yeah, big. That's actually a fairly big gap, although, once those 3 cars behind them, if they do decide to work together, they could. Although it's a mile track, they could work their way up. But here's a pass right here. Try to get past Bennett. That puts Jordan Wentzel in second. That's the 12 of Jeffers. Also working his way, at least trying to get past the 01 of Bennett.
Eric Jeffers had a really strong week last week, Rick, and he almost made his way into the championship 4. Didn't, but he's been running up there all season long. It's no surprise to see that number 12 machine up there. At first I thought it was Ryan Blaney, but it's actually Eric Jeffers. He's part of the Ryan Blaney paint scheme, that Menards scheme there. So, right there, that's a strong contender to possibly win this race. You have Wentzel there in second place. Now 1.4 back from Corey Bunch. And looking at Jeff Brogden is about 5 or 4.5 seconds back from the leader. So he is still slowly making his way through the field. Fastest lap goes to Corey Bunch, though, by about 1/10 of a second. So he's been able to keep that car out front. But Brogden still there. That's a battling going on behind him between Magden and Japs.
Yeah, we have to go back pretty far. This is the battle for 10th here with Magden in 9th, Tony Japs in 10th, and Ty Bostic in 11th. And that's what that happens here at this track. We begin to see the field begin to stretch out a bit as time goes on. It's a fairly unique track. Some drivers absolutely love it, others not so much.
What's your thoughts? Do you like this track? Do you hate this track? I know you don't like the configuration, but racing, what do you think?
I love this track, but I loved it in the other configuration. I had run a lot of Welland here for a while. I just liked running the Wellands and just enjoyed doing it at this track. It was a blast.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's one of, I wouldn't consider it my favorite, but I've always run well here because it's one of those tracks where you have to have rhythm, you have to be able to control the throttle, and I love those kind of races. And it's not my favorite track, but I love how you have to really figure out what your throttle control is going to be lap to lap. Not only just what it's going to be for the entire race, but it may change from lap to lap. Same thing with braking zones. Things that I mentioned earlier in the pre-race. My keys braking zones may change, your throttle control may change, depending on how your car reacts and how your car responds to new tires, to old tires. So it's a fun track, but I will say, I still can't get the new configuration right. I still call turn 1, turn 3, and turn 3, turn 4, and all that stuff. So it's one of those things.
Just trying to take a little bit of a look back through the pack, and you see your favorite driver. We're calling it out and supporting him. That's Travis Bennett in the 01. Behind him in that familiar 12 Menards car is Eric Jeffers. Behind Eric is the 30 of Alex Murphy. Behind Alex and the playoff driver in the final 4 is Michael Whitley in that Christmas sweater, Krispy Kreme. Garrett Walden in the 43 Alta. Jeff Brogden continues to make his way up. He is now sitting in 8th in the 14 Flaming Hot Cheetos. But the caution is out.
Caution's out. Got a car in turn 1. Maybe? I saw smoke, but then I don't know what happened. Maybe something with the 55.
Let's go back and see if we can get a feel for what happened here. I'm not sure. We're taking a guess. And it was the 55. It was a good guess.
Oh, hope nobody hit him.
Oh, came back down through traffic, but it looks like everybody survived.
Everybody did survive. Now, cars are on pit road, Rick. We have the leaders on pit road. Who is going to win the battle on our first stop of the race here on lap 29? Let's see, who is it going to be? You had Corey Bunch come down first, but you have a couple drivers from the back that have made their way out. I believe that's Brogden leading the race out of pit road.
Brogden,
for him.
I'm guessing he took fuel and maybe right side tires?
That's exactly right. His pit stop was a 9.7. The rest of the field were high 14s, low 15s. So there it is. That's the move. We talked about track position. We talked about pit strategy. Some drivers may take those right sides only, and we saw that early on here with the 14 of Brogden now leading Wentzel and Bunch and Whitley back in 7th. So
that was great strategy.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the later stages of this round of pit stops. If we're on the run, rather, if we see some wear on these tires, we may see him start to fall back a little bit, but still, he was there back in 7th in caution, came down, got 2 tires, and was able to beat everybody out of pit road. So great job. I mean, that's how championships are made here. And if we have, another run and he's able to come down pit road, he may be able to keep this lead. So Brogden now out front.
Yeah, that all feeds back to your keys to this race, right?
It does. And I thought that was going to be a factor. And I mean, I wasn't expecting a two-tire call here on lap 30, but he was the only driver out of all 20 or 18 that came down pit road to take two tires. So he may know something that I know as well, and which is track position and tires are going to be key. I'm thinking, we had a short run. We had I would say a medium run of about roughly 20 laps. So I'm curious if we see that trend start to continue with runs. If we have a longer run of 30, 40, maybe 50 laps, what that's going to do with the left set of tires that are obviously going to be on the car for multiple laps, because you do use them a little bit. And I think with the cars that come down and go to the dog leg, they're going to be using their left side tires a lot more than the guys who don't. So we'll have to see what Brogden does.
Well, 31 laps complete versus our second caution of the night for a single car spin with the number 55 of Vince Burns. But we are getting restacked and ready to restart. And Brogden will be in charge of this restart.
Yes, he will. We'll see what he's able to do out here at front. First time he's been out front all night. Got involved in caution number 1. Now he's leading the race in P1. Green flag back out here. Possibly 3 wide for second place. 01 was pushing the issue a little bit there. Here they go down into turn 1.
Brogden jumps out to a healthy advantage. Cars leave the wall. Just a little brush with the safer barrier.
No harm, no foul there.
We are definitely too wide, pretty far back here in this group.
Ooh, car loose on the inside. Got a car sliding. I think, is that the 12 of Jeffers? Oh, car heavy into the wall. That was Brogden Wentzel, I believe. Slammed the turn 3 or turn 2 wall. Again, messed up. He has heavy right side damage. You can see it right there. Don't know how that's going to affect his car, but he slammed the wall. Rick, here he goes. Trying to protect the position.
I think he's going to have to come in and get that taken care of. He may have a toe link issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to go back and take a look at that, but I mean, he slammed the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. Just completely lost the front end of the car and just hit it too hard. So another playoff driver with some issues here early on.
I don't know if I've got that, but
Maybe my bad, not playoff driver, my bad.
But right now, you got a battle up at the front with Jeff Brogden and Corey Bunch there running nose to tail.
My bad, that is a playoff driver, 81. Okay, I was getting my numbers mixed up.
Yeah.
I got confused. But yeah, the battle's on though, Rick, you're right.
Jeff Brogden continues to show us the lead, but he's got Corey Bunch all over him here on lap 36. As we were talking, Brogden Wentzel has gone, I think, a lap down from some damage sustained in a brush with the wall. It was like he had broken a toe link, but he was able to utilize his quick repair and get back up. Next caution, if he stays, he'll get his lap back and be back on the lead lap.
They have a pass from lead right here, Rick, going down into turn 3. Bunch decided to back it off just a little bit, but here he goes to the inside. He's there. He has the line if he wants it. Oh, we're wrecking out of turn 3. Car sliding back up the track on the start-finish line. Caution's out.
Alex Murphy involved. Let's try to get a 30 of Alex Murphy. Looks like Alex had a little bit of a help from the 43. Back it up just a little bit. Looks like there's just a little bit of a tap. That's Garrett Walden there, who taps the bumper of the 30, sending him around.
That brings out our third caution of the night.
Yep, not really much damage for Alex. He got pretty lucky there. That spin just kind of didn't touch the wall, just sent him around. But the good news for Jordan Wentzel is that got him back on the lead lap.
It's exactly what he needed. But what he didn't need is the use of that fast repair, Rick, and that's unfortunate there. You know, you want to have that in the bank for as long as you can before using that, tonight. So 2 playoff drivers already using their fast repairs. The other 2 do not. So the 2 that did were Brogden and Wentzel. Bunch and Whitley have not yet.
Yep, total time really spent in the pits on that for Wentzel was really just the time it took to get that fast repair taken care of. And he is back out on the track. Lights are still on the pace car as we wind down the end of this third caution. That caution was an incident with the number 30 Alex Murphy and a little bit of a tap by the 43 of Garrett Walden, sent him around. I didn't realize they'd actually painted dogleg on the wall here.
Yeah, that's new?
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I don't know. Hey, it doesn't help us figure out what's turn 1 and turn 3. So
No, I
can't.
I don't get it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so the strategy has continued to pay off for Jeff Brogden. He still remains up in front. Corey Bunch will be to his outside on this restart, and he'll have Travis Bennett tucked up underneath him as he restarts. Scott Thomas in the 79 is back on pit road for maybe some damage repair from an earlier incident. Yeah, there were a couple of cars involved in that second caution. I'm not sure if they used their quick repairs. They may have just used some time to get some work done.
That is a good possibility.
That's always a challenge here on iRacing to whether you bite the bullet and if you haven't, to use that quick repair or just let your pit crew take care of it as much as the damage as it can. You can't fix everything in the pit, but get a lot done.
Sure can.
We're about to go back to green flag racing.
Here we go. Third restart of the night. Got Brogden, Bunch, front row. Lap 42 coming to lap 43. Green flag back out in the air. Brogden's off. Pretty good jump.
Big jump by Brogden, taking that low run for the dog leg. Using all of the track to work his way around.
Oh, we're wrecking in the back. Wrecking in the back. Caution's out again.
Not sure who was involved. Let's see if we can get a feel for what's happening back here. The 81 is back there trying to work his way back up. There it was. 81 escapes, 30 goes around. 42, 127, all involved in some way, shape, or form. That's Matt Allen and Tony Japs. All right, both those cars, the 30 of Alex Murphy, the 42 of Tony Japs, are in on pit road as the rest of the field stays out here at lap 44.
For Jeff Brogden there, up 20 spots, still great move out of that camp to come down pit road. So been able to hold the lead and hold the lead with just 2 sets of tires, or two right sides on that car versus 4 new tires from the rest of the field. So we'll see how that pays off. You got Brogden, Bunch, Whitley, 1st, 3rd, and 5th. With Wentzel all the way back there, 16th.
Jordan's making his way back up. He's already picked up 5 spots over where he was as he had to be resigned back to the tail end after some contact with the wall. But plenty of racing left here to get back up to the front.
Tons of racing left. Yeah, we still got, 112 to go, so about to be 111.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. That means we'll be going back to racing next time as we cross the stripe. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We know you have a choice. We appreciate you tuning into our broadcast, whether you are tuning in live tonight or you watch at a later date. We appreciate you and your support. I feel this forming back up.
It is. Field's forming back up here. We got Brogden and Bennett.
And Bunch in Boston.
All B's. I don't know. Green flag back in the air. Sounds like the Cup Series. You got Byron, you got Bell, you got Blaney.
Well, Michael Whitney spoiled the party because now he's up to it.
Well, takes one. Oh, car on the wall. Not sure who's riding the wall in turn 4, pulling a Ross chassis. Oh, car loose. We are not under caution yet. We are green. Wow. That was a little bit chaotic.
Who that was? Was that Eric Thomas?
Possibly. Yes, that would make sense. Yeah, I think Eric Thomas. That's correct.
Well, no caution, and unfortunately, as Eric Thomas knows, experienced firsthand, when you wind up slamming into that safer barrier, it sucks you in and it just does not want to let you go.
That is correct. That is correct. Rick, going back up to the front, though, we got a fierce battle between Brogden and Bunch. Bunch has been very, very aggressive on corner entry, and we have another caution out. I think that is going to be
Alex Murphy.
Yep, Alex Murphy in the back.
And there must have been a substantial hit because there is no front clip on that 30. Let's go back and see what happened to Mr. Alex Murphy.
I think there's one stop turning left.
Yep, he lost his bumper. Pieces and parts are flying. Oh.
Another hard imp. Wow.
All right.
Yep, that thing just flew away.
Well, with
Got cars
that,
on pit road.
we do. We've got a lot of folks on pit road. Pretty much the entire field is making their way down onto pit road.
Who is going to make it off pit road first here? We're going to see another aggressive two-tire stop, maybe? We shall see. We got some guys coming out of pit road right now, maybe. Oh, nope, fooled me. Oh, the 30 is right there. He is definitely not battling for position, but Brogden is out of his box. There's the 7, or is that the 43? That was a 17 off pit road first, right? With Wentzel, Brogden, and Bunch behind him.
So the 17 of Magden and Jordan Wentzel only took fuel.
Wow. Interesting.
Yep. Only took fuel on that. Looking at Brogden, that's a full 4-tire stop. Everybody else had a full 4-tire stop, except for Simon Magden in the 17 and Jordan Wentzel in the 81. They both took fuel only on that stop. So that should set up an interesting restart.
Yeah, I mean, I see the benefit of it, but I mean, I guess we didn't have that many laps on those tires. So I could see where that could help. It's just interesting. You know, I knew pit strategy was going to be key. I didn't expect drivers to just come down and take fuel, though.
Well, currently up front, I think we're going to look. I think we have Garrett Walden and Scott Thomas, who did not pit, who are currently showing up front in the 43 and the 79.
Correct.
So they stayed out. Scott Thomas in the 79, he was last in on lap 41, so he's relatively new. He, well, new, but I'm saying he's got fuel and tires. But Garrett Walden pitted last on lap 28, so he's got significantly older tires than the rest of the field.
We'll see how that plays out.
Well, lights are off on the pace car, so we should be coming to the green next time by. Field is forming up. Should be very interesting up here at the front.
Very interesting, to say the least. With Mr. Garrett Walden out front there, and a paint scheme that I like very much, throwing it back to my favorite driver. We'll see how he does alongside him to the outside is Mr. Thomas in the 79. There in the Geico Research, so we're green flag racing, and what a jump there by Walden. And there goes Brogden down to the inside. Can he clear second and third? He clears second.
Oh!
Oh, we're
81.
big hit.
Playoff. Jordan Wentzel, big time. Hard wreck. And he's
That's his race is done.
His evening is done.
It's done. That's it. On lap 54. On lap 54, the 81's championship hopes, we believe, are done. Rick, we have to go back and take a look at that, but that is going to be what we think the end of the day.
Watch the 81.
Oh, I'm predicting a braking zone issue. Yep.
Tapped by Mr. Bunch, who also got spun by the 94. All playoff drivers involved.
And I'm watching Wentzel right now on pit road. He is done, Rick. No fast repair for that machine. His engine's smoking. That car, actually, it just blew up, I think. He's getting right sides. I don't know. I saw a big puff of smoke. We had a lot of damaged cars that last time, Rick, but that 81's day is absolutely done. And we had Corey Bunch involved in that.
I think Bunch used his quick repair.
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 playoff drivers involved in that, which is not what you want to see. The 94 of Bunch, the 81 of Wentzel. In the 90, yeah, I mean, it was just all of them except for Jeff Brogden up here at the front. You know, we talked about this, Rick. Track position's key. If track position, you know, means, I think it means a little bit more because we've seen all the chaos happen in the back.
I think the only playoff driver who has not used a quick repair may be Michael Whitley.
I believe that's correct.
So interesting turn of events here after an incident around lap 55, ending the day for Brogden Wentzel. As John had indicated, it looks to be that it was a braking zone issue.
It's what it looked like to me. Obviously, it's not intentional, but the driver in front of you gets out of the gas and gets on the brakes a little bit at a different time, and you don't have the time to react, and you saw that out of the 93 and the 81 there. So Wentzel now 2 laps down. His day is officially done.
Well, that's a shame. We were at high hopes for that 81 tonight. All right, 6 cautions of the night. Brogden is on the front row, flanked by the 43 of Garrett Walden, who is in control.
Uh, 57 out of 156 complete. We are coming down to just under 100 laps to go here tonight. In the iNASCAR Phoenix finale, we knew it was going to be chaotic, but we didn't know it was going to be this chaotic this early on. They're in the Geico restart zone. That 43 is off green flag back in the air here. 9 to go. Here comes Brogden now down to the inside, trying to get alongside the 43, and he does. Brogden's there. You got 2 flaming hot cars right beside each other battling. Which one's going to fire it down in the turn 3 a little bit harder? They're still side by side. Brogden complete the pass by going down below the line. He does. Brogden, now your leader.
Jeff Brogden back up front. Followed by Walden, Bennett, Thomas, Magden. Whitley is in 6th. Vince Burns in 7th. Bostic in 8th. Martin Turner in 9th. Josh Douglas is in 10th. Third bunch shows now back in 13th position. A lot of traffic to get through to get back up to the front.
Tons of traffic. And that's what you don't want to have happen, Rick. You know, with Brogden out front, he can save the tires. He doesn't have to battle anybody. He can run his line, his race. But if you're back there trying to battle and getting around some cars, you are just going to be using up your car more than that leader is. So every lap matters. Every single lap matters.
So the 81 has been eliminated. Brogden, our leader, playoff driver. Whitley is in 6th. And Bunch just in 11th. Making its way beneath the 22 of Ty Bostic. He's got that 30 right behind him. That 30 is Alex Murphy.
Oop, 43 is in the wall at the start-finish line. He's able to keep it going forward, though, but tagged the wall coming out of turn 4.
Again, the 43 last pitted on lap 28. That was nearly 40 laps ago.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking track position, I mean, it works. I mean, it's not very effective. He's not going to be able to run down the leader. Oh, tags the wall again. He's not going to be able to run down the leader, but he's able to keep his position. Now, I mean, he tagged the wall twice in a row. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that too many times after this, but what that proves to me is you don't need the cleanest, freshest tires if you're out there. You just gotta be able to run your line and run your race. The tire wear seems to be, yes, significant, but you're able to hold it for a little bit longer. So right now, no big movers as of yet within the playoff drivers. Obviously, Brogden up 20 spots from not qualifying back in the race. That'll be a story if he's able to bring it home from all the way back there. Able to got involved with the first incident, but able to have a great pit strategy that he hasn't been able to turn back from ever since on that first pit stop, taking 2 right side tires. So let me ask you that. Well, Brogden's still not on the same side of the left sides, is he?
No, that last major pit stop, he came in and did a 4-tire change.
Got it.
But yeah, the other big mover is Simon Magden. He's up 16. He is currently showing in 4th. Then going on down to the line, Vince Burns in the 55. He's quietly worked his way back up after that first spin and that first incident. He is now back up to 7th. You can see the 93 of Corey Bunch. He's now up to 6th. He's got the other playoff driver right in front of him, Michael Whitley. All right, Jeff Brogden continues to show us the way. He's got a little bit of just over half a second between himself and the 43 of Walden. Not a lot, but it's enough here at this track.
Yes, it is. Just enough.
So it takes around 27, 28 seconds to get around this track at race speed. And if we stay green long enough for a green flag pit stop, you'll see this field completely stretch out over the course of this track.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring up the track map, Rick, and see where the whole field is, because we have a lot of drivers in line here. It's starting to make that way right now. We got about half the track covered with cars, half the track not covered with cars. So, we'll see, like you mentioned, when you start seeing those pit stops, it is going to fan out like crazy. They're going to have varying strategies. You may see a 2-tire. You may see, I don't think anybody's going to be that gutsy and take only fuel, but you'll see that field start to look like a nice little, just a conveyor belt around this place.
Well, and that's the biggest challenge you face as a driver, is coming down under green, making that stop, and you just never know when an incident could happen that could trap you. And you'll wind up being potentially a lap down or just jumbled around that you have to work yourself out of.
Exactly. I mean, it's so risky, when these kind of races, because every move you make has a, opposite reaction. You one move you make could have been, a different move a couple laps before. So you have to be very calculated with literally every single kind of decision you make here in the championship race, especially if you're battling for that championship. Looking back there, you have Walden and Bennett battling for third, but we have a battle starting to brew between Whitley and Bunch, though, for 5th and 6th. Those are playoff drivers right there. You see them both trying to make their way back up through the field. Whitley got a little bit tight there. Going to have a big run out of Bunch. Caught that battle live. We'll see if the 93 can make the pass.
Oh yeah, he's got the line. makes his way around the 94, utilizing that apron through the dog leg and slides back up. There you go. Corey Bunch up to 5th.
That's one more spot gain. That means one driver closer to winning this championship. He has a lot to gain between him and Brogden up there, but he's been able to close the gap. He's been, looking through some lap times, he's been one of the faster guys on the track. Actually, that last time by, he ran the second fastest lap right outside of Eric Jeffers in P8. So we have this starting to pick up. Looking at lap times, starting to roll in here a little bit from these guys. Eric Jeffers with a 28 flat. Same thing with Corey Bunch, a 28 flat. The leader ran a 28.2. So we have lots and lots and lots of different lap times being run here. It seems to be the front four running consistently 28.2s, 28.3s, 28.4s.
Oh, yellow flag Bostic may have crashed.
Yep.
So caution here on lap 76 for an incident with the 22 of Ty Bostic.
Well, you know what that's going to do? That's going to bring everybody down pit road.
Just a single car incident, and unfortunately he does a little bit of contact.
A little bit. But Rick, we got cars on pit road. Brogden, Walden, Bennett, Imagine, Bunch. Everybody making their way down pit road. Let's see who's going to be the victor off of pit road this time by. Lucky Dog is going to go to nobody, I believe.
The only car that stayed out was the 20 of Barton Pinnell.
Which he is on the lead lap. Martin Pinnell last came down.
Lap 55.
Lap 55. Here we go. Cars out of pit road. Brogden is out of his pit stall. Who is going to win the race out of pit road here tonight? It is going to be Brogden. Oh, close battle there for second. I believe Bennett got Walden, though. Yes, he did. Followed by Bunch, Imagine, and Whitley. There for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Barton Pinnell may have just missed the turn into the pits. I don't know. But he is on pit road now, so Jeff Brogden will be shown as your control car. I guess it's possible that Pinnell was a lap down, although I didn't see it in the tower.
I didn't see it either, so it's going to be very curious to see what that looked like there. But looking through some of the pit stops right now, you saw everybody come down and take 2 tires except for the 9 of Jason Hale. He has a 9.55 second lap or pit stop, which tells me he only took right sides. We'll see how that affects him. But playoff driver-wise, you have Brogden, Bunch in 1st and 4th of Whitley, all the way back in 14th and dropping. Not really sure why. You think got a penalty, Rick? Got an EOL?
Too fast?
Maybe. He is dropping like a fly. All the way at the tail end of the field. That is not what you want.
Nope, he is starting at the back. All right, so that's our 7th caution of the night here on lap 80. Watching Michael Whitley here as he cycles back to the tail end of the lead lap. Back up front with Jeff Brogden. The lights are off on top of the pace car, so we'll be going back to green flag momentarily.
All right, here we go. Brogden out front. You got Bennett to his outside. You got Walden, and you got the 93 of Bunch. Playoff car, championship car on the inside of the 14. And we're off. Green flag racing back here. Great start from the 01 to the outside. Brogden's done this all race long. Go down, get the big. Oh, we're wrecking in the back car. Hard impact into the wall. Nobody on track, though. Nobody wrecking on track. He was below the apron.
It was the 32 of Eric Thomas.
He's had a rough night.
Yeah, there's no front clip, I think, on that car. All right, here we go. Back with the leaders as they make their way around. Jeff Brogden continues to take advantage of that apron. That has worked for him all night long.
It has. It can be risky, though, on older tires. That's why you don't really see it being done later in runs. Also, it can damage your car. I remember early when these next-gen cars came out that if you did that too many times, you were going to get damage on the underneath of your car. I imagine it's going to be somewhat of the same, just due to the violent impact of you slamming that front splitter down on the racing surface and then coming back up the track, same kind of thing. So it's definitely interesting to see how long these drivers will use that and utilize that advantage, because it does help. There's no lie. It can make you gain a faster lap time and gain position. So there he does it again.
Well, you can see, though, a little bit of sparks that do fly out from under the car when he does that. I think that's just like you see on F1 cars where they have a plank. I think there are some blocks that are under this next-gen car. But definitely some contact with the undercarriage as it transitions off of the apron and back up the track. All right, lap 86. Just past the halfway point here as this race continues to wind down. This is the finale for the iNASCAR series here in Phoenix. 4 drivers are battling for that championship position. That's Brogden, Bunch, Whitley, and unfortunately Mr. Wentzel is in the pits. He's a victim of an incident that unfortunately cost him tonight.
And Rick, I've been looking at some lap times. Bunch has been the fastest car on track the last 3 laps, running consistently a 10th faster than first and second. So watch out for Mr. Corey Bunch there in third. Got a 3-way battle for first.
Yeah, Bunch, Bennett, and Brogden. The battle of the bees up front.
Battle of the bees. Which I hope we see this weekend. It's going to be a battle between Byron Bell, Blaney, and Larson for the championship in the NASCAR Cup Series. And on cue, Corey Bunch is now up to second place, taking that position away from Travis Bennett.
Brogden continues to lead with 68 laps to go here at Phoenix in the iNASCAR Phoenix finale.
you know, we've seen Brogden run a very consistent line. I'm seeing him over here. I've been watching his last few laps. He's been very, very consistent behind the wheel. He's not making too many decisions with the steering wheel. He's keeping it straight, keeping it steady, making sure he's keeping the car underneath him. So as of right now, you see Corey Bunch is the one that's diving into the corner a little bit more aggressively than Brogden. So we'll see how this plays out as the run goes on. But those are your top two playoff drivers. Whitley's all the way back in 10th. He still needs a little bit more help to get him back into it. But looking on board with Bunch right now, seeing how he performs, he does not go down below that yellow line to go on to the apron, shifts into 5th, then downshifts back into 4th.
That's the only momentary glimpse we get of 5th gear. I think it stays. Well, it may shift into 5th gear. No, stays in 4th.
He's there. He is on the tail end of Brogden.
He's a super smooth. You see very little movement. He just kind of eases that car through the track. One of the things here with iRacing is that if you're, and it's logical, if you're there just sawing that wheel back and forth, you will definitely have much more heat in the tire. And you know, that's the thing with tires. It's not just about wear, it's also heat is probably the biggest factor in your grip and with these tires. So you know, simple movements, easing your way through, keeps as little heat and reduces the wear, and overall will give you a better long run on these tires.
Sure, it sure will. Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, you know, steering input is very important. That can contribute to
great run by
yeah.
Bunch.
Yeah, he dives it in there very, very well and is able to get a good run off the corner too. So, yeah, steering input, it plays a major role in how hot those front tires are. So, now re-entering the picture is Travis Bennett back there in the 01 machine. He's been kind of just creeping around, just hanging around, seeing what these guys are going to do. He's been slowly making his way back up to the front of this battle as we see the 93 take the high line again.
So overall, we're getting a bit more of a spread. We'll kind of bring that up. So as the race continues, you're now seeing about 2/3, 3/4 of the track as this race is spread out. Only car I think that we've got a lap down is both Thomas and Wentzel. They're both on pit road for repairs. Everyone else is on the lead lap.
That would be correct. What I think is getting Bunch into a little bit of a bunch himself is he's running into that dirty air of the 14, and it's just bogging his car. Oh, he's loose. Saved it. Well, on cue. We could see that happen a lot of times, you know, where you're following the guy in front of you and that dirty air, your car just doesn't like it.
That allowed him, he slipped back a bit. That allowed Travis Bennett to close that gap a little bit more. They're about 22 laps into this run, and that typically will be the bloom is off the rose on these tires, and to slick up a bit, and your car will begin to push a bit.
Sure will. We'll see Bunch battling back there in that middle to high line. It's been working for him on entry. A little bit tied off the exit. Oh, leader blinked.
Yep, so I saw Jeff Brogden blink there. So if that's the first time you've heard that term, that basically that you saw the car appear and then disappear, that's a technical issue or with his connection to the iRacing server. You don't want that to happen, especially if you happen to be the leader.
And happen to be battling for a championship with the guy right behind you who could possibly pass you. So it's definitely not what Brogden would like to see.
All right, just taking a quick trip through the field and talking about the leaders for so long. Let's just get you some shots of some other drivers here who are currently competing tonight. That's Travis Bennett. Garrett Walden behind him, and followed by the 12 of Eric Jeffers from Dexter, New York. The 30th of Alex Murphy, and I'm not really sure where he is from. Simon Magden. '55 of Vincent Burns from Sacramento. Matt Allen from Dodgeville, New York. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Josh Douglas from King, North Carolina. How about the 9 of Jason Hale? Cody Japs from Lexington. He's got the 22 of Ty Bostic from Rockingham right there with him. Got the 79 of Scott Thomas, also from King, North Carolina. And the 48 of Jeremy Briggs from Vestal, New York. We got this New York, North Carolina thing coming.
Yeah, a lot of guys from both camps. So got a couple from Canada as well.
Martin Giroux from Quebec. And Martin Pinel from Montreal.
Love to have that diversity of those Canadian drivers. They're talented coming from up there. So I say coming from up there like they're traveling to Phoenix. You know what I mean? Virtually. Virtually.
All right, back up front. Jeff Brogden continues to show us the way. We are on lap 106, 107. That is 30 laps since our last pit stop. And with 50 laps remaining, these two drivers, Brogden and Bunch, up front battling for this win. This win settles the season.
It is the season for these guys, so we'll see how it plays out. But right now, Brogdon's able to gain a little bit of a gap, about a 1 second gap on the driver in second for Corey Bunch.
Looking on back through the field, looking for battles happening back. We got that battle between the 12 and the 30. That's Jeffers and Murphy. That is for position. That's for 5th place. Murphy trying to take it away, and he is up underneath the 12. That is a battle for position. Farther back, there's Michael Whitley. He's back there.
Yep, with the 8th spot. And with 47 to go, Rick, we are going to start seeing some pit stops fairly soon.
Absolutely. Here's another battle. You saw the 9 car of Jason Hale touch the wall. That's the 8 of Josh Douglas. Further back, we did see some going on. The 17 is now showing on pit road. Simon Magden is on pit road. Guessing this was a scheduled stop. Matt Allen is now making his way down onto pit road. These early takers. It's a 4-tire stop for Simon Magnan. Lots of takers now this time on pit road.
Tons.
Travis Bennett is coming down onto pit road. So we are seeing the beginnings of the next round of pit stops. We'll expect leaders probably momentarily.
I mean, I'd try to get on pit road as soon as I could right now if I was a leader. And he did not hear me. But
well, with 40,
I think,
with 44 laps to go, this last stop was at 77, right? So it's 40 laps at 117. So even if they come down now, it almost seems like they're going to have to come down one more time.
Right, and it's also, I got to remember, he's not battling anybody else other than those 4 drivers that are battling for the championship. Now, really 2 drivers outside of Brogden. So he's only Brogden's battling Bunch and Whitley, and neither of those drivers have made their way down pit road yet. So that's where, you can give up those positions. All you care about is where the other 2 drivers are, and if they haven't come down pit road yet, fine, let's run it out because he's not battling anybody else.
Right now they've got 38 laps on those tires. Oh, that's it for the leader. He's in. He's fast in.
Uh-oh. I'm going to my black flag monitor right now. I don't think he got one.
A 4-tire stop here for Brogden. $40 laps to go. I still think they're going to need another. If this is fuel only, they're still going to need another splash. Probably at some point within the next 10 laps, they could come back in, top off, head back out.
Possibly, yep.
All right, our first round of, is that our first round of green flag pits or our second? That's our first round of green flag pit stops all night.
Well, I knew it was coming. I felt it. I felt like we were going to have one of those runs where we're going to have that green flag pit stop. And what does that do to the field? Well,
hey, and just to chime in, there are still 7 drivers who have not pitted and pitted last on lap 77.
Right.
And with 38 laps to go, any one of those drivers could come on pit road and make it to the end without needing a splash.
Right. That's what I'm very curious about. So Whitley in a great position, right now with Brogden there in 8th and Bunch all the way back there, 2 laps down. Rick, what happened to Corey Bunch? Uh-oh. Bunch is on pit road, Rick.
Yeah.
Bunch is now 3 laps down. Oh, there he goes.
I have no idea what happened. We'll have to get race control to let us know what happened.
I didn't see any black flags on my end. So, I don't know, but that's going to leave 2 cars right now battling for this championship. The guy who was 66 points to the bad last week, who needed a win in Martinsville, and what did he do? Holds off the entire field and wins. Michael Whitley Jr. now in 3rd place in the 94, and then you also have Brogden championship favorite. One of the favorites all season long there in 7th place. We'll see.
All right, Jeff Brogden is sitting in 7th, and he is the only car. Well, he's the lead car on those drivers who came down at lap 116 is when he came down. But all of those ahead of him, Walden, Jeffers, Whitley, Bostic, Japs is now in Pinnell. Those guys have not pitted yet. Oh, take that back. We're now seeing Walden. So, yeah, pretty much those guys are now making their way down onto pit road with 34 laps to go. Michael Whitley is on pit road. I guess the gamble here is, do you take fuel and say right side and just get back out?
Possibly.
We're watching the 94 of Michael Whitley on pit road. Right side tires are on. Car is being fueled, and that's all he did. He took right side only.
Right side only. That's a bold call. That is a very bold call there for the 94 machine. We will see how that pays off. Brogden now cycles back out to the lead with 32 laps to go here in the iNASCAR Phoenix finale.
So,
I don't know if he's going to have enough gas to make it, Rick.
Well, are you hoping, are you gambling if you're Jeff Brogden that there's going to be a caution? If their caution comes out, he probably can save enough fuel through that one caution cycle to cover himself, or it would be close. I don't know. But it was surprising that he didn't stay out longer. If we saw all those other guys who came down at the same time he did stay out for 10 more laps.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a big question mark right now because we don't have the data that we need to make a fuel estimate call with these drivers. So we're going off of what we anticipate it being. And right now, looking at the 2 championship contenders that are still eligible, I mean, all 4, well, 3 of them eligible. Bunch is 2 laps down. If we have 2 more cautions, he'd have to battle his way back. But with Brogden pinning last on lap 116 and Whitley pinning on 123, there's a 7-lap difference right there. And that could be the part where you make or break your championship. So Whitley now 13 seconds back, trying to make his way through the field, took 2 right side tires. I don't know. It's risky. I mean, if Brogden comes down anytime between now and the end of the race, his race is over, 100%. Maybe he is hoping for a caution.
So the drama continues. The sheer amount of speculation here in the booth continues. We're just guessing. We're looking at what we see here and trying to figure out what these drivers, what their plans are. Whitley stayed. I think Michael Whitley did the best he could. He stayed out as long as he could. Took right side tires, which you saw Jeff Brogden do. That was successful for Jeff. He got back up on the track. He's out there in 5th. He is nearly 13 seconds behind the leader. But does Jeff Brogden in the 14 have enough fuel for the next 27 laps? Oh, the 94 just contacted the safer barrier.
That was a big hit to the right side, so
Did we say
we'll see how that affects.
He was the only driver who had not used his quick repair?
Yes, that is correct.
race continues to wind down. 25 laps to go here in Phoenix to decide the champion of the iNASCAR series here in iRacing.
Six laps left in this season. Oh, well, 24 laps rather. And it's close. I mean, we see Whitley making up a little bit of time. You know, he has 7-lap fresher tires, but he did hit the wall. He may have a little bit of damage, so we're still speculating that. We don't know the fuel run, but this is the last 24 laps of the season, and it comes down to 5 spots. That's how close Whitley is to possibly bringing home a championship for that 94 machine that looked anything but out last week.
Does Brogden need a splash of gas to make it through?
We don't know.
We don't know.
I mean, looking right now at the lap times, Brogden's last lap was a 27.603. Whitley's was a 27.71.
Here's the other factor to get onto pit road, execute your stop, even if it's just fuel, and get then back off. If it's just a splash of gas, it's going to cost you 45 seconds.
Yeah, you're like I said before, your race is done. I mean, you are absolutely done. And so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We just don't know. That's where the suspense is coming into this. Brogden, we want to say he has enough gas to make it to the end, but I don't know. It's a question mark. So we'll have to figure it out soon because we got 21 now coming to 20 laps to go. Whitley is catching Brogden slowly but surely. He's there.
The other factor here that we didn't really consider was, maybe Brogden just short pitted at the end of his, when he thought that was where he needed to get in and out. We saw the other drivers extend their runs past Brogden, but Brogden may have just figured it out. That's where I need to pit, and I'm good. The 43 at Garrett Walden make his way around the 94 of Whitley. That is for position. Jeff Brogden continues to lead this race, 19 laps to go. And we'll bring up that track map to get a feel for the field. And as we had said before, once we go to a green flag pit stop, it's now like Christmas tree lights all over that track. It's all spread out. Got the 50 of Martin Giroux on pit road for an extended stop. Not quite sure what may have happened to Martin. Not see any incident on the track.
No, did not see any incidents. I'm kind of confused.
Corey Bunch is still 2 laps down, and he is in a lot of traffic trying to make his way through the 79. 55 is up there, the 127. Just 16 laps to go and no yellow flags in sight. It's going to be a tough night for the 93.
Night.
What's that, John?
I said very, very, very tough night, and we'll see how it plays out. 15 to go. Now it's going to be 14 to go when he hits that line.
Oh. So we're trying to keep an eye on Jeff Brogden, but he just basically blinked a bit there, and then
He's blinking a lot. I'm watching him on the other side, Rick. It's not good. Hopefully he's able to keep it going the right direction. I mean, I guess he can't really help if he's going the right direction. But
not sure where the Moreno Valley is, but wonder if he's got some weather or something that's preventing him from staying connected.
we'll see. Well, all he needs is 13 laps. That's about 7.5 minutes, or 6.5 minutes rather, and he will be crowned the iNASCAR Racing Series champion. Hopefully. I think he can make it on gas. I'm hoping out. I mean, with 10 laps to go, you don't want to come down pit road and get gas.
So the Moreno Valley is in California. Don't see any weather per se, but you never know.
You never know. Could be somebody on the internet connection. That's not supposed to be on the internet connection. You know. You never know. Whoever's streaming needs to stop because Brogden possibly could win a championship. So, no, all jokes aside, Brogden now coming to 10 to go in this finale.
It's his to lose at this point.
It is with the 12-second gap, basically not quite half a lap, but enough to where if he does need to save, he can. But right now, 10 to go. What he's hoping for is no cautions, no drama. This race plays out, and what a way to possibly win a championship than to win the race, you know. Because we could see two guys doing burnouts at the end of this thing. The winner of the race, and obviously the champion. But coming out here and winning the finale as a championship Ford driver, that just proves that you were the best. And you are the best.
So we're seeing Travis Bennett up there in second. Travis also a very successful driver this season here in this series. Just missed the cut. Good showing tonight in P2. Oh, clipped the wall.
Oh, no. Oh,
Caution.
he kept going forward.
Yeah, caution did not come out, but absolutely clipped the corner of that wall. There is potentially some major damage on that car. Look at the right front. It is not pointing, the left front not pointing in the right direction. He's got a broken toe link.
And that is what you don't want to see. Like I said, no drama, nothing.
He is staying out there, but he has definitely got some left front damage there. You see as that car goes by, that's a lot more turn in that tire than you would expect.
Absolutely.
But with 6 laps to go, he's going to stay out as long as he can. Unfortunately, with the, yep, he's stuck. He's got to come in.
Yep, nothing else he can do.
Well, they were back up front. Tough break for Travis Bennett.
Tough break. Such a good run. We got 5 to go, coming to 4 to go. Brogdon still out front with what we think has enough Cheeto dust in that car to make it to the end. 4 laps to go.
for your podium, looks like Brogden, Murphy, and Walden. So those drivers will get themselves to our Discord waiting room and get a chance to speak with them if that's how it remains.
Yep, I mean, the closest battle is between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Well, maybe even 4th and 5th, a little bit closer there between Magden and Whitley. Whitley's trying to do everything he can to get his way back up to the front, but with 2 to go, there's only so much he can do here. He goes down to the inside of the 17. That is for position.
Uses the apron, slides back up still. He's close.
Oh, he's close. Oh, Rick, we got a white flag in the air for Jeff Brogden in that number 14 hot flaming hot Cheetos machine. He had 7 regular season wins, was one of the championship favorites going into the iNASCAR championship battle, and in his final race here in the final season, or final race, Brogden wins at Phoenix and wins the championship.
Solid
in fact,
win.
He did have enough Cheeto dust in the engine to get it to
He
go.
sure did. Solid win by Brogden, a whole 7 seconds over second place Murphy. Whitley does finish in 4th, moved up around Magden. And once we get some final results here posted, we'll bring those to you. Looks like they're in. All right, race results are in.
There it is. Your final official results for tonight's race. Jeff Brogden not only won the race, but he won the iNASCAR Racing Series Championship with Alex Murphy in 2nd, Garrett Allen in 3rd, the 2nd championship driver Michael Whitley finishing in 4th, Simon Madgen in 5th, Eric Jeffers in 6th, Matt Allen in 7th, Vince Burns in 8th, Ty Bostic in 9th, and Tony Japps rounding out your top 10.
In 11th, Jason Hale finishing 11th. 12th, Jeremy Briggs. 13th, Travis Bennett. 14th, Scott Thomas. Martin Pinnell finishes in 15th. 16th, Corey Bunch. 17th, Josh Douglas. 18th, Martin Giroux. 19th, Eric Thomas. Jordan Wentzel finishes in 20th, and Dan Hughes in 21st.
Well, we got everybody doing burnouts on the front stretch. I mean, everybody. Rick, I don't know if you could pull out like a drone. Look at that. Everybody is doing burnouts. Look at this. Get a drone cam or a chopper cam, because we got burnouts everywhere.
Bring it from the blimp. There we go.
There we go.
Well, drivers
midst of that.
celebrating the end of a long season. There's Corey Bunch putting a bumper to the 14 as the 14 celebrates his win.
What a season. What a win for Jeff Brogden. I think he ended up with double-digit wins, including the playoffs. I mean, he had an incredible year. So it's a very well-deserving championship for that man there in the 14 machine. We got interviews coming up, so don't go away. We got to interview Walden Murphy and, obviously, most importantly, Mr. Jeff Brogden.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not seeing Mr. Walden or Mr. Murphy in the Discord, so that unfortunately will not get us an interview. But we could go back to those playoff drivers. I'm not sure they want to have an interview, but Well, let's bring in your winner. Let's bring in Mr. Jeff Brogden.
Let's do it. He's in victory lane.
All right, Jeff.
What's going on?
Congratulations. Heck of a finish. We
Oh,
were.
man.
You started. Tell us. Help us understand what happened. Why you started in the pits, or started.
I didn't start in the pits.
Tail in the field, rather.
I hit the button below qualifying, the one that says ready to race instead of. It's like, oh shoot.
Well, it obviously didn't matter too much because, as I mentioned a few times in the closing stages of the race, you had enough flaming hot Cheeto dust in that machine to bring home the win, and not only bring home the win, but bring home the championship. Just walk us through what you saw, because we had issues with Wentzel. We saw issues with Corey Bunch, two of those playoff drivers. Walk us through your entire race.
Oh my gosh. Well, that first getting spun there and having to use a fast repair early, it got me really nervous, and then it made me mad, so I got super aggressive on the next restart. and then I knew that the only way I was going to be able to get myself up front was to take 2 tires on early pit stop there, and
That was a masterful decision.
That worked out really well for me. And then from there, it seemed like me and Corey and Travis were the only ones that were around each other a lot. And I knew that I could beat them on long run pace, so I was hoping that it would stay as green as it did. Because if it was a yellow shortened race, then I knew Corey, he was faster than me in the shorter stints like that. And then that last stint, I was just waiting for him to pit, because I had a decent enough lead to where I could wait for him to pit instead of me having to pit first. So I went in the lap after him, and then that was it.
Yeah. So towards again at the end there, we weren't sure when you went in, and we saw Whitley and others. They were staying out longer. I'm guessing you were short pitting. That you knew at that point you were good to the end.
Yes. Yeah.
That
Yep.
ends the speculation. We were bantering about that in the booth as to what was you chose that route, but it all played out. The 2 tire stop worked out to your advantage. That was awesome, and it's been a heck of a year. Congratulations on your win.
Yeah, I was sitting on 9 for the last 3 weeks, and I wanted to get my 10th, and no better time to get it than in the championship race, right?
That's right. So Alex Murphy just joined us. He finished P2. Alex, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thanks.
Absolutely. So tell us a little about. I mean, obviously you were fortunate enough to you kind of worked your way up and down through the field a couple of times.
Yeah, I had a decent qualifying. I didn't get much practice this week, but decent qualifying effort. Started off pretty good and then got turned around by the 43 there. I don't think he did that on purpose there. He sent me a message saying that was an accident. That's fine. It happens. It's racing.
Yep.
Went to the back, got caught up in some other wreck. I haven't seen the replay of that one. I don't know what happened. I was up top. I got spun around and not too much damage on that one. Then about 3 laps later, I spun it out on my own, ran it into the fence, destroyed the car, used a fast repair. And got fortunate enough to get good brakes, and I had good long run speed with old tires, so it worked out.
Well, congratulations on your P2 finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Big thanks to Advanced Sim Racing on the car. I love having them on board. Also, big thanks to all my teammates that were here tonight there. Rumble Racing was Simon Madgen and Martin Giroux were here tonight. And, we had a lot of fun. Not to forget Martin Pinel, too, was one of our newest members. So,
solid,
big thanks to everyone there.
Yeah, solid Canadian group for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like representing Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. So our third place finisher, our P3, Garrett Walden joins us. Garrett, congratulations on your finish.
Thank you, sir.
We saw you work again. You had you're working your way up through the field, certainly, a couple of different times.
Yeah, I tried to play the strategy card early because I figured we were going to get a long run and then maybe a late caution. So I wanted to save a set of tires, and I was actually surprised in that run I was able to keep up with Jeff for a while, but I knew eventually that the tires were going to wear out.
Any shout outs tonight you'd like to make?
I mean, just shout out to this whole crew, this whole organization of what we've been doing. And I missed a lot of the season due to IRL things, but it was nice to come back and race with these guys again, and especially the admins in our big group here that help put on the show for us and do a great job of organizing everything. And to you guys as well with your broadcast, it's even when I wasn't racing, I was able to watch the broadcast, and I always enjoyed it. So I just appreciate everybody that does all they do for this whole group that we have.
You got it. Well, there's your third place finisher, Garrett Walden. And Jeff, for you, this is your win. Is this your first championship within the league?
No, this is my second in a row.
Second in a
Oh.
row.
Back to back.
Back to back. We got to note that for next season, Rick. And see if you can go. Can you do it 3 in a row? I mean, we talked about competition leveling out with multiple different seasons underway. So, Brogden, really quick, got a question. What does this do? You won back-to-back championships. We know that now. What's your mentality? I mean, obviously, the season just ended. But what does this do, winning the last race of the season, winning the championship? What does that do for your momentum and your strategy going into the next season?
It just gives me bragging rights over these guys for a couple of months. Talk a little mess in the Discord, get them pumped for next season so they bring their A game. I know a couple of guys are disappointed in the way their season ended, so I'm looking forward to running with them next year. Have them motivated to kick my butt, and I'm motivated to kick their butt again.
That's awesome. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I want to shout out Vince Burns and Vernon Broadbeck, my teammates. They were there for me the whole season, and I want to shout out was it Full Throttle Racing for making this season fun. Like, a lot of their guys were competitive a lot in all these races, and competitive races are fun as heck. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, thank those guys and thank my teammates and thank Matt and Josh and all them for making this all possible. Like, we've gotten a whole lot better since I started with them last year, so we're making good strides in how the league is going, and a lot cleaner racing and a lot more competitive racing, and it's been the highlight of my week coming here on Thursday night. So
That's great.
just want to say thank you to those guys, and thank you guys for putting on a good show. I go back and watch it, so
Absolutely. Thank you. So, yeah, absolutely shout out to the admins who run this league, Scott Thomas, Josh Douglas, and others. They have put together a great group of drivers, and the competition on the track shows it. Congratulations to Jeff Brogden for winning his second championship back-to-back, winning here tonight in spectacular fashion. Again, congrats to Alex Murphy for his second and Garrett Walden for his third. And thank you for tuning in to this broadcast from the IWM team here for the iNASCAR Phoenix finale. We appreciate you tuning in on Thursday nights, and we hope to see you when we kick off our next season. We will bring you each and every week here on the IWM broadcast network of the iNASCAR series starting, I guess, in January. So stay tuned. We may have some playoff races, not some playoffs, some recruitment races and other things that we'll bring to you between now and then. But John, any parting words as we say goodnight?
Just congratulations to Jeff on his championship. Congratulations to all the drivers for a great season. Can't wait to call the entire season next year. And don't forget to make sure to like and subscribe. Even if you're watching this on the replay and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and join the fan base, join the community of the IWM Broadcast Network so you don't miss any broadcast in the future that you would be interested in. So other than that, I can't wait for the next season for these guys, see what Brogden can do. So he can go back to back to back. I mean, that's a dynasty right there, if you ask me. So
All right. Good night, folks, and have a great night. We appreciate you tuning in, and see you next time.